Why on earth are so many older adults waking up at 3 o'clock a.m.? Does getting older automatically mean we're destined for these early morning wake-up calls, or is there something bigger going on? Hello, friend. I know that might sound like a bold way to start, but let's be real. If you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, you might find yourself wide awake at 3 o'clock a.m. More often than you'd like. Maybe you toss and turn, silently hoping sleep will take you back before dawn breaks. Or maybe you give up and shuffle to the kitchen for a cup of tea. Either way, these middle-of-the-night awakenings can feel disruptive, confusing, or even a bit lonely. But I'm here to tell you this isn't just getting older, and you're definitely not alone. In this video, we're going to explore 5 key reasons why older adults, especially Black seniors, may find themselves waking up around 3 o'clock a.m. We'll talk about the ways your hormones are changing, the shifts in your body clock, possible health concerns, lifestyle habits that might quietly nudge you toward an earlier wake-up, and even the emotional undercurrents that can keep you up in the pre-dawn hours. By the time we wrap up, you'll have a deeper understanding of what's going on, and, maybe most importantly, you'll have some practical steps to help you adapt. So, let's settle in and start uncovering the truth behind these 3 o'clock a.m. wake-up calls. 1. Melatonin decline, the hormone that used to tuck you in. Our first suspect is melatonin, a hormone that acts like the conductor of your internal sleep-wake orchestra. When you were younger, your body probably released a healthy dose of melatonin each evening, helping you drift off and stay asleep. However, research has shown that melatonin production declines with age. By the time you hit your golden years, your melatonin supply may be significantly lower than it was in your 20s or 30s, making it harder to maintain a continuous stretch of slumber. Why does this matter for that 3 o'clock a.m. wake-up? Well, once your body starts running low on melatonin in the early morning hours, it essentially shifts from a deep rest state to something closer to wakefulness. That means every little noise, every tiny discomfort, or even an errant thought can pull you out of what should be a peaceful sleep. What's more, your eyes become more sensitive to light, and even a faint glow from a street lamp or a phone charger can further suppress what little melatonin you have left. Black seniors in particular may experience extra challenges here, because systemic stressors, like decades of racial discrimination or economic pressures, can impact hormone regulation. Stress hormones such as cortisol can get elevated and throw your body's normal rhythms out of whack, leading to more pronounced dips in melatonin. In recent years, more attention has been paid to how chronic racial stress correlates with disrupted sleep patterns in Black communities, reinforcing the idea that social factors can quietly merge with biological processes. So how do you respond to the melatonin shortfall? For starters, consider making your bedroom as dark as possible, using blackout curtains or an eye mask if needed. Keep electronics out of reach and avoid staring at bright screens right before bedtime. Some seniors find mild melatonin supplements helpful, though it's always wise to discuss this with a healthcare provider first. And be kind to yourself if you do wake up at 3 o'clock a.m. Sometimes simply understanding that your body's melatonin reservoir is dipping can reduce the frustration you feel in the moment. 2. Advanced sleep phase, when your clock runs ahead of the sun. Next, let's talk about your circadian rhythm, your internal 24-hour clock that dictates when you feel most alert and when you want to drift off. In younger adults, this clock might align with a midnight bedtime and a 7 o'clock a.m. wake-up. But as you age, there's a natural tendency for the circadian rhythm to shift earlier. This phenomenon is called advanced sleep phase syndrome, and it's why you might find yourself falling asleep at 8:30 p.m. without even planning on it. If you're heading to bed hours earlier than you used to, it's no surprise your body decides 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock a.m. is the new morning. It's already had its chunk of rest. The rest of the world might be asleep, but your eyes pop open as if an invisible alarm just went off. This can be frustrating, especially if you still want to stay asleep until 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the morning. For retirees or those with fewer evening obligations, the advanced sleep phase can sneak up gradually. Maybe you start eating dinner earlier, watching your favorite show right after the news, and then drifting off before the late-night talk shows even begin. Even if this schedule feels cozy, it could result in a 3 o'clock a.m. wake-up on a regular basis. If you prefer not to be up at that hour, you can try gradually shifting your bedtime later in 15-minute increments. You might also add a gentle evening activity, like reading in a well-lit room, calling a family member, or doing light stretching, to keep yourself from nodding off too early. If, on the other hand, you don't mind waking up with the roosters, then maybe this earlier schedule is your new normal. The key is to recognize that you do have some influence over your internal clock through your daily routines. 3. Health challenges and physical discomfort, the body's early warning signal. Sometimes that 3 o'clock a.m. wake-up is less about hormones and more about physical signals your body is sending. Aches, pains, or chronic conditions can stir you awake in the wee hours when your guard is down. Arthritis in your hips or knees might not bother you when you first lie down, but after a few hours of immobility, the discomfort can become more pronounced. You shift positions, feel that twinge, and suddenly you're awake, aware, and annoyed. Then there's the bladder issue, something no one loves to talk about but many people deal with as they age. A reduced bladder capacity or certain medications, like diuretics, can increase nighttime bathroom trips, which are often timed inconveniently around that 3 o'clock a.m. mark. And once you're up and turning on lights, your brain might interpret that as a sign it's time to start the day. Getting back to dreamland isn't always straightforward. Health conditions such as hypertension, diabetes, or heart disease are more prevalent among Black seniors, and each can interfere with restful sleep. Some diabetes medications may cause fluctuations in blood sugar that disturb your sleep cycle. Others dealing with heart-related conditions might experience breathing issues or mild chest discomfort that becomes more noticeable at night. The good news is, solutions can often be found by examining your evening and bedtime routine. Maybe you need to stop drinking fluids a bit earlier to reduce nighttime bathroom visits. Or perhaps you need a discussion with your doctor about the timing of certain medications. If pain is a major factor, ask your healthcare provider about strategies to manage or prevent nighttime flare-ups. Whether that's gentle bedtime stretches, adjusting your mattress, or updating pain meds. Don't underestimate the importance of these small changes. If you've been suffering in silence, thinking, I guess this is just what happens when you get older, you could be missing out on ways to sleep more soundly. It's never too late to speak up about discomfort or unusual symptoms and explore ways to improve your nights. 4. Lifestyle and daily routine. Those small choices that add up. Even if your hormones are balanced and you're in relatively good health, your lifestyle habits might be quietly steering you toward a 3 o'clock a.m. wake-up. Retirement often brings major changes in daily structure. You're not setting an alarm for work, you might take an afternoon nap, and dinner might happen earlier than it used to. All these shifts can inch your bedtime earlier, and by extension, push your wake-up time into those still dark hours. For instance, if you used to commute to a job that required you to stay out of the house until 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock p.m., you might now be home as early as 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. With extra time on your hands, you could be eating your evening meal by 5 o'clock, finishing the dishes by 6 o'clock, and then winding down in front of the TV. Before you know it, it's 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock p.m., and your eyelids feel heavy. This might seem harmless, but 6 hours of sleep from 9 o'clock p.m. to 3 o'clock a.m. can still leave you alert in the middle of the night. Black seniors in particular may experience a unique blend of lifestyle factors. If your community activities, such as church or neighborhood gatherings, are scheduled during the day, your nights might be relatively quiet. Or if you're helping care for grandchildren, the physical and emotional demands could lead to early exhaustion and an earlier bedtime. To counter this, a simple approach is to reintroduce a bit of structure to your evenings. That could be a phone call with a friend, a puzzle, a mild exercise routine, or even a short stroll around the block under well-lit conditions. Anything that keeps your mind engaged and signals to your body, we're not ready for sleep just yet. Over time, this can gently nudge your bedtime closer to, say, 10 o'clock or 10:30, which might mean waking up at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock a.m. instead of 3 o'clock. It's also worth mentioning that if you do enjoy waking up before dawn, there's nothing wrong with that. Some folks relish the quiet hours of early morning, using them for reading, journaling, or meditation. The key is to ensure you're getting enough quality rest overall. If that's happening, even if you're on a unique schedule, you might already be living in harmony with your new rhythm. If you're finding these points helpful, please let me know in the comments below. And remember to click that subscribe button if you haven't yet, so you don't miss any future videos that aim to support you in living your best, healthiest life. 5. Emotional and psychological factors, when the mind won't quite rest. Last, but certainly not least, let's talk about the emotional side of these wake-ups. Sometimes the reason you're up at 3 o'clock a.m. has little to do with melatonin or arthritis, and everything to do with what's on your mind. As you get older, you might find that the busyness of earlier life stages fades away, leaving more space for reflection. Late at night, or early in the morning, you have fewer distractions. This can be when unprocessed emotions, regrets, or worries start knocking at your mental door. For Black seniors, this can be compounded by reflections on the unique challenges you may have faced throughout your life. Memories of times when you or your loved ones experienced discrimination or hardship might resurface in the stillness. You might also carry concerns about the younger generations in your family, worries about their health, their safety, or the opportunities they'll have in the future. This kind of quiet psychological restlessness can feel like a dull ache rather than a sharp pain. It's not a loud alarm bell, but more like a steady drip of thoughts that won't let you fall back into a peaceful sleep. If you sense this might be your main stumbling block, try giving yourself permission to address it head on rather than pushing it away. Some people keep a notebook by their bed to jot down worries or memories that surface. Others might say a quick prayer, focusing on gratitude or specific hopes for loved ones. Still others might find talking with a trusted friend, counselor, or spiritual advisor helps untangle the knots in their mind. Don't underestimate the power of emotional support or therapy. It can be a game changer in easing those 3 o'clock a.m. thought cycles. Often, simply acknowledging these concerns in the light of day can lessen their grip at night. When you give your emotional life some dedicated time and attention, your brain doesn't feel the need to wake you in the wee hours to go over these topics. It's all about creating a healthy outlet for the deeper layers of your experience. Putting it all together, making 3 o'clock a.m. a little less lonely. So let's recap. If you're waking up around 3 o'clock a.m. repeatedly, there could be several overlapping reasons. Your melatonin levels are lower, making it harder to stay asleep. Your circadian rhythm may have shifted to an earlier bedtime and wake-up time, advanced sleep phase. Physical discomfort or health conditions, arthritis, bathroom trips, medication side effects could be rousing you. Your lifestyle after retirement might be pushing you to sleep earlier, so your natural wake time falls in the middle of the night. Emotional and psychological factors, including reflections on past or present worries, might be knocking at your mental door. The important thing to remember is that you're not failing at sleep, and your body isn't betraying you. It's simply that your physiology, daily habits, and emotional landscape have evolved. The good news is, you can adapt to these changes with awareness and gentle adjustments. Here are a few practical strategies to consider. Light management. Create a darker bedroom environment and limit screen exposure in the hour before bedtime to support your melatonin production. Bedtime tweaks. If you're falling asleep too early, try staying up slightly later with quiet, engaging activities. If you need help shifting your internal clock, do it gradually. Health check. Talk with your healthcare provider if you suspect pain or medication side effects are part of the problem. Small changes in dosage timing can often make a huge difference. Evening structure. Introduce a bit of stimulation in the evenings, reading, phone calls, a mild exercise routine, to help delay drowsiness until closer to your desired bedtime. Emotional outlets. Recognize and honor your feelings. Journal, pray, or reflect in ways that allow your mind to process and release worries before you hit the pillow. One more thought. Sometimes it helps to reframe how you think about being awake at 3 o'clock a.m. Instead of labeling it an outright disaster, consider whether you can use that time productively or peacefully if you can't drift back to sleep. Maybe you do some light reading, listen to calming music, or engage in a brief mindfulness practice. The world is quiet at that hour. It might be a chance to connect with your own inner voice in a way that's harder during the hustle of daytime. Still, if these wake-ups leave you feeling chronically tired, or if you suspect something more serious like sleep apnea, consult a healthcare provider or a sleep specialist. You deserve restful nights and energized days, no matter your age. Thank you so much for watching and spending this time with me. If you found this discussion helpful, please like this video, leave a comment telling me which of these 5 reasons resonated most with you, and hit subscribe if you haven't already. That helps ensure more people, maybe even someone you know, can find this information and feel less alone in their own 3 o'clock a.m. struggles. Remember, aging might change how you sleep, but it doesn't have to rob you of the beauty of a good night's rest. With a little awareness, self-compassion, and willingness to adjust, you can find peace in those nighttime hours once again. Take care, and may your nights grow steadily more restful.